Hello and welcome to Taking You to School with Dr. Tom Prichard. I'm your host, JP John Poz from the Two-Man Power Trip. Of course, joining me, the star of the show, the former WWE World Tag Team Champion, one of the greatest trainers ever in the history of business, the Doctor of Desire himself, Dr. Tom Prichard. How you doing today, sir?
John, I'm doing great.
Man, crazy, crazy news going out there. I guess we'll start off not with the craziest news, but let's start out with something that makes people go crazy. Did you hear that the PWI 500 is out there now?
I did hear that. I don't know all the specifics, but I did hear that some people were going nuts over the PWI 500. I didn't know it meant that much anymore.
Yeah, crazy, right? I kind of
Yeah.
thought that too. And there was like a frenzy online. People like, hey, I got listed here. I got listed. Oh, why didn't this person get listed here? Why is this person not here? Why isn't Roman Reigns in the top? Like people were really going kind of batshit over it.
Well, I'm glad they have their opinions, but I just didn't know. Was it online? I don't think PWI has a print magazine anymore, do they?
As far as I know, it's very limited in print, but it's mostly like an online publication. And I guess they're doing pretty good online to get that kind of like fervor of people excited or mad about it.
Well, I guess if you're wrestling out there on the indies, you want to be recognized. So,
Yes. So
yeah.
here it is, the top 10, Dr. Tom. I'll put it out here. Number one, Cody Rhodes. Number two, John Moxley. Number three, Gunther. Number four, Hangman Adam Page. Number five, Hiroki Goto. Number six, Jey Uso. Number seven, Swerve Strickland. Number eight, Seth Rollins. Number nine, Mystico. And number 10, Will Ospreay. Anybody surprise you there?
No, not really. It's a well-rounded list. It looks like to me. I mean, they got WWE, AEW. Is there any TNA in there?
No, but there is a New Japan and there is a CMLL in there.
Ah, okay. Well, then they did their job.
Cody Rhodes, number one for the second straight year. Very rare to get that. I think Bret Hart did it. Steve Austin did it. I think John Cena may have done it. So, yeah, very kind of rare that Cody 2 years in a row at number one. Does he deserve number one?
I think so. I think he's done a great job so far as the champion, and he's done a great job. I'm trying to get rid of this thing here that keeps beeping on me. Okay, there we go. I think he's carried the company very well and done a great job.
Dave Meltzer was making a real strong case for Mystico out of CMLL, given the fact that they've been drawing crazy houses very consistently down there. If you actually look at the attendance, Arena Mexico, consistently 16,000 people they're drawing. I don't know if that would necessarily be weekly, but more like monthly. So it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't PWI primarily in the States?
Yeah, I mean, Mystico makes the list, but obviously it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, of course.
sure. I think so. Maybe the guys in California look at it differently, but yeah, I think for being in the States, Cody Rhodes definitely deserved to be number one.
Mystico in AEW a little bit, and then obviously he just beat MJF last week. So, there is some crossover there. There's no doubt about it. But I just thought that was interesting that, come on, Cody's selling out arenas with 55,000 people, 70,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, and they have a great point there. WWE is the premier promotion globally, so whoever carries that championship, whoever carries the company, is the guy I think they should rate number
It always kind of
one.
just like a highly contentious list from people. I guess they really, for some reason, get really into it. I'm not sure why they still do. It's just kind of opinion piece, but I guess that's a great job by PWI to get people's mind going there, get them going.
Well, how many wrestlers do you think there are in the United States alone? How many guys do you think there are?
Got to be thousands, right?
Well, you would think. I mean, I don't know how many promotions there are in the states, but I mean, there's got to be at least over 1,000. So, um, yeah, to be ranked in the 500 or whatever it is, I saw one post that guys had like 10 belts, 10 tag team belts laid out in front of them, and they were hot because they weren't listed. So, I I think it's all subjective anyway.
Cody Rhodes, number one. as we go from kind of a crazy reaction of fans to just a crazy fan. AEW fan, which is so funny that that's how he's being described by like the wrestling media or some of the people in the wrestling media. AEW fan arrested for murder. Like that's the headline of this thing.
Wow.
Basically, what it is AEW fan arrested after victims were found trapped in his basement and one of them was murdered. So it was like, holy, basically he starved her to death and killed her. So it's crazy story. They're calling him AEW fan because in the picture, he's wearing an AEW sweatshirt. And then there's many pictures of him at shows, including a picture with Tony Khan of all people.
Wow. Well, I'm sure Tony doesn't want that publicity, but that's kind of crazy. I mean, that is really crazy.
When you think about it, it's like, man, you never know who you're taking the pictures with. You know what I mean? It shows how kind of scary. It's like, wow, you could be taking pictures with anybody.
Well, I remember we had a guy, and I don't remember his name right off hand, but an FCW who got cut, and he went crazy and went over and saw his girlfriend and stabbed his girlfriend to death, and he's still in prison right now. But it just goes to show you never know.
Donnie Ray Birchfield Jr. not only kidnapping charge, but obviously he's going to have the murder charge as well. Just the scary stuff. It's just like, man, whoa. And he was at a bunch of AEW shows, meeting a bunch of the wrestlers. Obviously, he likes wearing his AEW shirt. Just crazy. But it's funny that he's linked to AEW just because he's a fan. But look, there he is with Tony Khan and Luchasaurus.
Is he the guy on the mask?
Yes.
Which mask?
Okay. Yes, the black mask. That's Luchasaurus is the other. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. That's a little crazy, man. He looks like a psycho, just from what I can see from his eyes.
Oof, what a crazy story. So if anybody wants to go and read that online, he's from South Carolina, and he was actually, Donnie Ray Birchfield Jr. was actually arrested back August 1st. This is just kind of coming out now as the Law and Crime Network finally came out and published a 23-minute video detailing the allegations, everything that's going on. He's actually the son of a pastor from Lancaster, South Carolina. So he kidnapped 4 people and had them in his house, stole their credit cards, stole their money, was using their money for this, and he actually ended up killing one female. They actually had a husband and wife who were with him, and the wife ended up passing away.
Well,
Crazy.
Yeah, I wonder how he came to know these people, or he could kidnap them.
That's what not clear. And they were saying that the couple was, I forget how they worded it, but basically they were vulnerable. They were a vulnerable couple, so I'm not sure what that means per se. But they didn't say how he knew the couples either, because obviously it kind of seemed like he was luring them into the house.
Yeah, I don't know about people today. It kind of makes me scared to go outside these days.
Pretty crazy when you think about it, because it's like, okay, he has them trapped in the house, and he's going to AEW shows. You know, he's going to wrestling shows, and you just think he's like, oh, he's just a normal fan. And in his interaction, oh, Tony Khan's taking pictures with Luchasaurus, taking pictures of them, and behind that, the veil, if you will, he's a complete psychopath, murderer, kidnapper.
Yeah, it just goes to show that you never know.
Whew, man, what a wacky. Just like wacky world we're living in now. The Charlie Kirk stuff. It's like, man, it's just the alien invasion that they keep talking about. I mean, this is crazy here.
We have an alien invasion come in.
Well, you didn't see that 3-eye Atlas, whatever it's called. They're saying that they don't know what it is. It came from another galaxy. It's headed towards us December of 2025. You didn't see that?
No, I missed that.
Oh. It's supposedly a comet, but some scientists saying it's not a comet. So, and then there was a UAP, if you will, the unidentified anomalous phenomenon that they hit a missile into and had no effect. A lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on. I'm ready for it to be over. I really am.
and all those conspiracy theories with Charlie Kirk. I mean, it is like, whew, it is. There's like a new one every day. Now there's one about his wife. I mean, there's like a new one every day.
Next thing you know, we'll be going to Saudi Arabia with WWE.
Yeah, Saudi Mania. And by the way, I actually got that wrong. I said the amount wrong. 100 million was not for Saudi Mania for WrestleMania. 100 million was for the Royal Rumble. 200. It's 250 million for WrestleMania.
Wow.
So 350 for two shows, and then any other show that they've been doing, Crown Jewel, was 50 million. So who are they racking up the bucks?
Yeah, it's a lot better than Houston used to do back in the 70s.
Man, imagine at 250, and they're already saying, "Hey, we want Rock, we want Stone Cold Steve Austin."
Well, they might just wind up getting them. You never know.
With these prices, or like the demand of them saying we want this, and we're going to pay you whatever we want to get it. It doesn't seem that far fetched. I mean, they paying Tom Brady $75 million to play in a flag football game.
When does that happen?
Next year.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. $75 million for a flag football game.
I could see him being like, I don't want to do it. And then they're like, what's your price? And he's just probably joking. 75 million. They're like, done. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that was like negotiated. He had to have been joking or something. And he's like, all right, I'll play. And now Saquon Barkley's getting, I don't even know how the NFL would allow it, but they're going to allow it. He's getting millions upon millions to play too.
Well, that's how they're allowing it, because they're probably getting some kickback from it too.
Yep. No doubt.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then you look at the prices for Vegas. It's like $40,000 for first row seats there. So it's just like,
wait a minute, $40,000 for a first row seat in Vegas?
Yes, there's some package. Like you get this, you get to walk down the aisle way, like you get all this other stuff, but you get first row tickets included, and it's $40,000. It's like, they're trying to break some sort of record. I don't know what they're trying to do, but whoo-wee.
Yeah, I don't. I agree with them wanting to make money, but that's for the elite. Those are people who can. $40,000. That's more than some people make in a year.
It's nuts what they're doing. Do you think that it's going to affect them long term though? Like as far as because when I was a kid, my dad took me to a bunch of shows, took me and my brother to a bunch, and we had good seats. The bushwhackers are licking, people in front of us. We're seeing Hogan. And it wasn't that crazy expensive that all the family was able to go. And it kind of led me to being a fan over and over. I'm still a fan to this day, 40 years later. Do you think that will affect it? Because you won't have that anymore. You won't have the kids going to the shows because it's too much money.
Well, if the crowd drops and the demand drops, then they're going to have to drop the prices because they're going to have to listen to their audience. I did see something the other day, or maybe it was today. I don't even know what day it is. Where John Cena is now going to wrestle AJ Styles.
Yes, at Crown Jewel in Perth, October 11th. Yeah, added to the pay-per-view.
And Cena was giving all the credit to Triple H for listening to the crowd, listening to the audience. So, if they continue listening to the audience and it gets too much, then they're going to have to do something.
The funny thing about that is, like, he's listening to the audience. So Cena basically, in an interview, and in an old interview too, they said, "Who's your best opponent?" He said, legitimately in ring, he said AJ Styles. I had my best matches, and he credited AJ with a lot, which is, I think a lot of people will probably say that, but Cena was saying AJ Styles is the best and blah, blah. So they asked him, what do you want to do in your retirement tour? He's like, he goes, it's not in the works, but I want to work with AJ Styles. So basically, I'm sure they talked and were like, all right, we can sneak it in, or we can get it in here, or you know what I mean? Like, why don't you put it out there on Twitter and see if people are interested? So Cena put it out there on Twitter, and it gets 1 million, I think it was 10 million responses or 10 million views or whatever it was. It was some astronomical number. And AJ's put, let's do it. Triple H is like, wow, this is crazy feedback. All right, it's signed. So a little bit of a work, a little bit of a shoot kind of involved with that.
Yeah, but it always is. I mean, there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that always going on.
Do you like that booking? I feel like that's a great, not necessarily dream match because we've seen it before, but a match that people wanted to see Cena have on the way out.
Well, again, I'm reminded of what Paul Bosch always said. He said, I like to go fishing and I like strawberries. But when I go fishing, I put worms on the hook because I'm trying to catch fish. It's not what I like. It's what the fans like. And if the fans are coming out and buying your product, then you're doing good. But if they stop coming, then you need to change the bait on your hook. And if Triple H is listening to that and paying attention to the crowd or paying attention to the audience, then more power to him. I mean, that's smart business. So, yeah, I think you have to listen to your audience in order to stay in business and do well.
With that, it's not like AJ was being booked overly strong, but the crowd, no matter what, it's like he's one of those Teflon guys. No matter what, he loses to Dominic, they still cheer him like crazy. They go anywhere overseas, and he gets some of the biggest pops. I mean, sometimes they just don't shut up, especially France. I mean, they were so loud they wouldn't shut up when he was out there. So, I mean, he gets great reactions no matter what. So it's one of those things where it's like, why not throw AJ and him Cena together?
Yeah, you can't hold that kind of talent down, and I think they're going to find out because they made a great choice because Cena's going to be into it, AJ's going to be into it, and I believe the crowd will be into it.
The cool thing about that too is they can kind of like pretend that the crowd booked the match, and then the crowd becomes even more invested in it, right? I mean, that's kind of the general idea of it.
Sure. Give the people what they think they want.
And they booked it, because Triple H is like, well, the people booked it, and I'm putting in a crown jewel.
Yeah, smart move on his part.
So basically, almost like every dream match just kind of happened. I'm trying to think of anybody that Cena really hasn't wrestled that he had a big feud with in the past. And obviously, Edge and Jericho. Jericho's not happening because he's in an AEW contract until January, and Edge is in AEW, so that's not happening. So I think that's pretty much all the guys. Maybe Seth Rollins, but I think that's all the guys for his little retirement tour here.
Well, how many more shows does John have left?
5.
Okay, so he's got AJ.
Yep.
Maybe Dominic.
Yep.
And who else?
You would think a Lesnar rematch, right? With the way that happened at WrestlePalooza, you would think there'd be some sort of rematch with Brock Lesnar in the works.
Well, yeah. I mean, after Lesnar, who's left besides AJ?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's like, I don't know if he'll have a match in every show that he's on, but he's in November. Well, Crown Jewel, he definitely has a match, AJ. There's the 2 Raws, the one in Boston and the one at MSG. I don't know if he'll be wrestling on either one of those. Then you have Survivor Series. You would imagine he'd be having a match. And then you'd have his final show, which is December 13th at the Saturday Night's Main Event, which is now in Washington, D.C. So you would think that at least those are going to be 3 matches and maybe added 2 more for the Monday Night Raws, you would think. But I'm not sure. I would obviously AJ knocks off one of them. You would think a Lesnar rematch would be one of them. I would think anyway.
Well, I mean, he pretty much destroyed Cena in WrestlePalooza, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, that would make sense, I guess. I don't know anybody else that would mean anything.
Seth Rollins, I guess.
Could
mean something.
Yeah.
Dominic would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think no matter who steps in the ring against John, it's going to be an interesting match because people want to see it.
I was just kind of thinking like, okay, with WrestlePalooza, he got destroyed by Lesnar, thinking like, okay, that's great, setting up the rematch. But then I was reading online that there might not be a rematch. Would that surprise you if there wasn't a rematch after he just squashed him like that?
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Really? Why not?
Because they would just move on from it. Had the match
Wow.
and that's it. Yeah, they just move on.
So Lesnar moves on to bigger and better things, and Cena just kind of puts him over on the way out?
Yeah, I can see that.
Don't know if this is true or not, but it was reported that Cena was going to win. And he said to Triple H, why would I win? But I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it kind of makes sense. If that Cena really did say it, kind of makes sense. Like, wait, why am I winning?
Right. John, for he gets a bad rap at times, but I think John has done more business than people realize. I mean, he's put people over before that you wouldn't think about. And I'm trying to think of Austin.
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. Yeah. I mean, why shouldn't he why shouldn't Cena have gone over that night? But he didn't. So I mean, he's put people over before, and it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
I feel like a lot of people think of Super Cena. Remember that year run that he had? Actually, multiple year run where he basically didn't lose and he beat everybody. I think everybody's kind of thinking about that. But many years after that, he hardly won, to be honest. Like, he even made a point. I don't think he won a match in 5 years. It might have even been longer than that. It was like a one-on-one match, but it was crazy that he hadn't won a match in forever. Remember Solo squashed him that one time too?
Right.
Just absolutely destroyed him. So he definitely puts guys over. That's for sure.
Yeah, and John knows it's good for business. He's not going to be around anymore, so or not for a while anyway. I'm sure he may come back, not for wrestling, but for appearances or whatever, because you can never really leave. You know, even The Rock, once he left, he still came back.
That's another guy people say doesn't job, but if you actually look, he had like the most losses in like a few year span. Like Rock was, in his prime, he was losing to Triple H like every month. It was like he just kept losing, but it didn't matter because he was Teflon. But Rock had seen it jobbed a lot for like huge names, big time stars. Definitely jobbed a lot.
Yeah, and I think they're setting the example.
When you look at it, right, with WrestlePalooza, so where does Lesnar go from here?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know who his next opponent could be, but I mean, if you pair him with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and those guys, I mean, there you go. I mean, it doesn't matter who you put against Brock. He's going to go out there and he's going to be Brock Lesnar no matter what.
Did you see the PLE WrestlePalooza on ESPN? Did you watch?
I did not. I read about it, but I didn't see it.
Do you have ESPN?
We had ESPN, but we couldn't get it's on ESPN Plus, right?
It's weird. It's like ESPN Unlimited or something. They even like changed. It was so confusing. They like upgraded it and changed it. So yeah. I had Disney Plus and Hulu, so I just did the bundle. But even that was like, wait. Do I cancel anything? Like I even had to contact them to make sure I was doing it correctly. Very confusing.
We had ESPN and watched the Tennessee game, but
oh, nice.
And then after that, they had WrestlePalooza advertised, but then it said we didn't have it in our package, so I didn't see it.
So weird. And my buddy goes, "No, I don't have it." So I told him to turn it on, and he has Spectrum. He lives down in Florida. He had it. He's like, he goes, "I don't even think I'm paying for this." He goes, "How do I have it?" And then I contact my other friend who has Verizon. He had to get on the phone with them because he goes, "I thought Verizon had it." And they ended up on the phone giving it to him. So I was like, wow. Like, yeah, he had to like complain. So I was like, whoa. So,
well, I wonder how many people had to switch their subscription service for that. I mean, it sounds like a lot, or was it?
Yeah, a ton. Because I was reading online that there was so much mass confusion, and that even the Verizon people were saying they were inundated with calls and having to like basically like massage this thing and be like, okay, we'll give it to some people since it was announced that they were supposed to have it for free, and like it just seemed like a huge cluster. Like they just rushed it so much.
Yeah, and then ESPN, were they happy with the show or no? Because I heard they gave it a C or something like that.
I heard ESPN was happy with the show. They loved it, but whoever was grading it online, their website gave it a C, and they said they could do better. It was just an okay average show. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Again, it's subjective to what everybody thinks. Yeah.
I thought the Cena thing was great because obviously Lesnar's moving on and he looked like a freaking beast. I liked the Usos tag match. I thought CM Punk and AJ Lee, I know, albeit a bit long match versus Rollins and Becky. I thought that was good. Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer. I love Stephanie Vaquer for many reasons. I think a lot of people do for many reasons. I thought that was good. And then I liked the main event of Cody and Drew. So I have no complaints about the pay-per-view.
How was Cody and Drew?
It was good. People were saying it was too short. I think it went 18 minutes. They were saying it should have went longer. I thought it was really good. They told a good story. Cody was kind of playing off that he had that concussion, kind of that issue from when McIntyre kicked his head off the table. McIntyre went for the kick, but the ref kind of tried to stop him. So he ended up kicking through the thing, and Cody moved, and he quote unquote broke his ankle. So he's kind of blaming the ref. So it kind of keeps him strong. Cody took advantage. So I know I liked it. I thought it made sense and awesome chemistry between those two as usual. I like all their matches together.
Yeah, I think Drew's been doing a hell of a job. He looks great. He talks great. He's believable. And he's a great performer.
And I love Cody and him because they're like kind of throwbacks. They don't necessarily have to do like a million high spots and stuff like that. They do selling and injuries and, still sell certain moves like crazy. Like Cody takes the Claymore kick. You would think like a bomb went off. He like flipped over upside down from like it looked like he got destroyed. So really good job by both of them.
Yeah, I think it's a lost art, but if you have people who know how to do it, you can still get away with selling, registering, and letting things breathe out there. So you have your high spots and you have your fast-paced matches, but I think you also need those master storytellers. I think Cody and Drew are doing a great job.
And I think Punk is one of those guys too. I always like his match. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah, total agree.
So with WrestlePalooza, obviously we were talking about Crown Jewels next, Cena versus AJ, but it's interesting to note Stephanie McMahon on the show as a surprise. Undertaker came out and told Stephanie McMahon she's going to be in the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. What do you think? Is she Hall of Fame worthy?
Yeah, I think Steph's Hall of Fame worthy. She did a lot of stuff during her time when she was out there. I mean, she got married, she got crucified.
Mm-hmm.
She was a major part of the Attitude Era, and I think she did a great job. So, I think she's definitely worthy of being in the Hall of Fame.
People were complaining, no surprises, but that's a little bit of a surprise. Undertaker wasn't supposed to be on the show. She wasn't really supposed to be on it, and they announced her for the Hall of Fame. So a little bit of a surprise there.
Well, I think that was the idea, to have a surprise, and anytime you get the Undertaker on there, it's always a plus.
Now, here's a little tie-in to WrestlePalooza, Stephanie McMahon, and ESPN. So on her podcast, What's Your Story, she's promoting the Surfshark at the VPN. So basically a VPN is you connect your VPN to your internet, and you can not be geo-tracked. So they wouldn't be able to tell if you're in the States or not in the States. So you can just set it up and say, hey, I'm in Canada. And use your Netflix, sign in, say you're in Canada, use the VPN, and you get the WWE pay-per-views, the Canada feed. You're getting it for free. You could sign on to HBO Max. You get all the AAA, which isn't on in the USA, but it's on HBO Max in Mexico. You can get all the AAA for free. So there's basically a VPN. You're kind of, massaging some things of where you are. It's kind of a little shady to some. Shady. I have one for definitely. I have one for work. It's just because it's supposed to look at what I'm doing for my work because there's competition from other companies, which was like stealing information from our company. So we had to get a VPN to block, and not be. So only certain people can get in and out of the VPN. So she got some heat from ESPN apparently because she goes, because she's promoting her product. She goes, if you're not going to get ESPN, just get the VPN. So can you kind of see the irony there?
Well, I can, but I think she was trying to help people out. She probably knew what she was doing, but good for her. Glad she was helping people out.
Do you think she really had heat from ESPN for it, or do you think that was a joke?
I don't know. I mean, possible. ESPN could be hot. You never know.
They might be like, hey, wait, what are you doing telling people to steal it? You know what I mean? We were telling people to pay $30 a month or get the bundle with Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN for $30 a month. You know what I mean? They don't want you doing that.
Yeah, but I don't think Stephanie really cares. I mean, maybe she does, but I don't think she cares.
Just watching the clip of her, she was like laughing about it. So it was almost like she knew what she was doing and saying. People were saying, she didn't know, she didn't understand. I feel like she did.
Possible, yeah. So, I don't think she really cares.
Although it definitely didn't seem like she knew she was going to the Hall of Fame. That seemed like they were working her a little bit. Like, they want to see her real reaction.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, I could see that. I could see Triple H wanting to surprise her, and what a better way to do it.
Do you think, obviously, like Undertaker comes out, he gets a pop. Do you think that they're relying on the legends too much? I know they're not really relying on Undertaker per se, but AJ Lee, technically a legend. Lesnar's a legend. Cena's a legend. Are they relying on the legends too much?
I don't think so. I think that the legends are a part of WWE and they're ingrained. Um, uh, they still put a picture of Bruno Sammartino up, when they start the program. So I mean, I don't think so. I think somebody like the Undertaker is invaluable, having him come out because people still remember, and those who don't remember, he still has that aura. He still has that big star aura about him. So yeah, I really don't think they are. I think they're doing it just right.
Nostalgia definitely sells, I think, right?
Yeah, these days, look at how many rock acts you got there. From the old days. I mean, classic rock is still classic rock, and why is that so? Because it's still good, and some bands can still perform. Aerosmith still looks like Aerosmith, and even though Steven Tyler may have ripped his vocal cords to hell and back, uh, they're still in demand, and people still want to see them. So, Alice Cooper's still out there performing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of legends in all parts of entertainment, and I don't think WWE should be left behind.
Alice Cooper will be in my neck of the woods. I can't make it, but I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, man, Alice Cooper, because I saw Alice Cooper last year with Rob Zombie. So I thought that was great.
I heard he does a hell of a show, man. He puts on a hell of a show.
And you could tell where Zombie got all those gimmicks from. He got it directly from Alice Cooper, which he's kind of admitting it too. Like he's the forefather of this stuff. So I love that. So it's like nostalgia with nostalgia added in, because obviously Zombie is more of my era, but he was 90s and early 2000s kind of.
Yeah,
really big.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're going to pay, because concert tickets are pretty high down. Also, every genre of entertainment has raised their prices. So if you're going to pay premium price for a ticket, you want a premium show.
That was a great concert last year. And even Creed last year made the 25th anniversary, because it was the summer of '99 tour. They were doing it all over again in 2024. And that was sold. That was the most tickets I saw sold out to this venue at the Art Center here by me in a while. I think it was 18,000 people. It was completely sold out. I was like, wow, for Creed. So even they're, a nostalgia act now, which is great.
Yeah, I would go see Jackal if they were playing near me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. Now, here's an interesting question for you. Would you see a Macho Man Randy Savage movie, a biopic? Would you see that?
Sure would.
Did you hear that they're actually making one? It's in the works right now.
It's in the works. Yeah, I did hear that. So yeah, I would love to see how they project Macho Man's life on screen. I sure would. I think it'd be great.
I love it. Kenan Thompson, obviously from Saturday Night Live fame. He was basically like, he's one of the greatest of all time. So I like that the guys actually are into it. Like they're actually, old fans, if you will. Yeah,
and during that era, how could you not be a fan? It was a pop mainstream. It was all over the place. Hogan, Savage, Andre, everybody at that time was larger than life, and those guys were who they were. I mean, they weren't pretending to be a character. That was Randy Savage. What you saw on screen was who he was off screen too. I mean, he stayed that way 24/7. So I'd love to see a movie and see how they portray it.
Me too. I'm fascinated because there's so much to cover. What are they going to cover? And they say they're going to go from the beginning of his life all the way to the end. So they are apparently want to cover everything. So, man, that could be really detailed. I mean, just wonder what's going to be left out, what's going to be put in.
Yeah. There's a lot to put in there, and would they cover the Memphis days? Would they cover the?
They were saying yes, and they're going to cover his father's promotion too. They were saying,
wow,
that was a rumor anyway. Yeah.
Well, that'd be very interesting to see how true they get it.
To be honest, too, I feel like everybody knows who he is. So it's not like one of those things where oh, this movie's nobody's going to know who that is. And, I feel like everybody knows who Macho Man is.
Sure. It was snapping to a Slim Jim. He was the national spokesman for a while.
everybody does an impression of him. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it really was. That era had unforgettable characters, unforgettable personas who resonated with people and made a lot of fans.
There is a comedian, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Dan Soder. Very funny guy, does great impressions. He was doing, I heard him do Road Warrior Hawk, a little bit of Animal, but Road Warrior Hawk, he was doing Andre, but he has the best Macho Man I've ever heard. It was just amazing. I was like, oh, like everybody does Macho Man. Ooh, yeah, dig it. Like everybody does, but he like nailed promos and he was nailing the fingers and he was such a good Macho Man, but he was like the calm Macho, where before he would explode. I was very impressed with it. I don't know if you ever heard of Dan Soder before.
I've heard of Dan Soder. I just haven't heard the imitations or impressions.
Excellent Macho Man. I wonder who's going to play Macho Man as well. That's going to be
that'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
I know in the Iron Claw, those guys, they were good actors, but not necessarily big enough to be the Von Erich boys. You know what I mean? Like Kerry Von Erich was a giant. So
yeah. There. I think it'd be hard to find somebody that looked like Kerry. Or any of the Von Erichs, quite honestly. So they did I thought they did as good a job as they could with what they had, but the movie and people were complaining that the movie wasn't true to life, and I can understand why they would want to make it a little use artistic liberty to make it, because there was nobody who looked like Kerry. I don't know if anybody even in the acting world today could even resemble Kerry.
The only guy I could really think of would be that guy Reacher. Forget his Aiden Richardson or whatever his name is. It's a show on Amazon, really good show called Reacher. He's just like this huge, jacked up dude. Other than him, I can't even think of anybody that would even come close to being that big. I mean, whew.
Yeah, well, it's tough to find those guys.
So Macho Man finally going to be a part of Hollywood, getting the biopic. That's cool. Hogan biopic apparently is not coming out. They got rid of that a while back, but I thought that would have been cool if you got a Hogan biopic and a Macho Man biopic coming out.
Now, why did they scrap the Hogan picture?
I have no idea. It just kind of went by the wayside. And I thought Eric Bischoff said it was like creative differences or something like that, but it just kind of went by the wayside, just out of nowhere. After Chris Hemsworth was like all buff and he was ready to play Hogan and everything. So interesting.
Yeah. Well, maybe everybody just kind of decided it'd be better not to.
Yeah, maybe they didn't want to touch on some subjects. I don't know. Now with his passing, I don't know if they'll be able to put it out anyway. Although Bubba Love Sponge is putting out that video killed the radio star thing about the sex tape. So,
wow.
But Nick is suing, even though Brooke Hogan went to the screening of it, apparently. But Nick Hogan is suing over it. He doesn't want it out there.
Well, I don't blame him. I don't think I'd want it out there either.
Yeah, me neither. Definitely not. Just curious, then we talked about WrestlePalooza. Did you happen to see AEW All Out?
I did not.
No. Okay. I did not see it either. I missed it, but I was just curious if you might have saw it on HBO Max.
No, I hear they have murderers as fans, so I wouldn't watch it.
Whoa, good point. Yes,
Thank
true.
You. Yeah.
Yes, great callback to that. Yeah,
Mr.
Birchfield. That is still crazy though. That like you're Tony Khan, you take a picture with this guy, you just think, oh, he's just a fan. This is great. He's at the show, he's enjoying the show, and the guy's got people in his house like that.
Well, how are you going to know anything like that? I mean,
no, you would never know. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, it's nuts. Look at Benoit. I mean, you never know what's going on in somebody's mind. It's just crazy.
Never know what's going on in their life. That's true.
Yeah. So, do you think that Rick, going back to WB, I forgot to ask this. Do you think they're relying on the pops too much? Because I said they're relying on the legend, but the pops. You know what I mean? Like the surprise. Oh, it's Lesnar. Like, oh, it's AJ Lee. Like, are they surprised? Like with the actual pop? Like, oh, it's Undertaker. Pop. Like, do you think they're relying on that too much instead of just good old fashioned like storytelling week by week and building up drama?
No, I think that's part of the storytelling and part of the drama is the pops and the surprises. I mean, you want to give your audience something new as much as you can, and you want to give them that surprise and that pop and that unexpected. Oh no, that's Lesnar or that's the Undertaker. I think it's a great thing. Give the audience more than they bargained for. Give them their money's worth, and then some. If you're paying $40,000 for a front row seat at WrestleMania, I mean, no matter if you get to walk down the aisle or the ramp or not, I would want something special, and that's for everybody to enjoy. So yeah, I don't think they're relying too much on that. I think that's part of the appeal.
Hey, according to Mark Shapiro, part of that tickets being so much is, hey, we just want to pay off the debt because we bought WWE for $9 billion, excuse me, with a B, billion off of Vince. We just want to pay off the debt. Like that makes it any better. Like, oh my God, it's for being one of the smartest guys and a billionaire, the president of the company. He didn't realize that his quotes would be spread around the media. Like, he thinks he's just talking to people one-on-one in a bubble. He doesn't realize these quotes get out there. Insane.
Well, if he was being honest about it, then yeah, that is insane. I mean, yeah, he should realize that whatever he says is going to be broadcast.
Now, speaking of broadcast, I got to mention this, Dr. Tom, as we wind it down here. I got to mention this. On broadcast television, on this day in 1996, Superstars number 521 was taped from the Bryce Jordan Center at the State College in Pennsylvania, a.k.a. Penn State. There, the match would be Zip of the Body Donnas losing to Stone Cold Steve Austin, 6 minutes, 10 seconds. Do you remember this match at all?
Yeah, I got my ass beat.
Was it a good match?
It was a match. Of all the matches I had, it was definitely one of them.
But did you enjoy working with Stone Cold?
Sure. I'd worked with Stone Cold before.
Now, is it the same day? Did you guys have two matches back to back? Because when you look up like the day of the show, it says that you guys had two matches that day. One was a dark match and one was taped for Superstars. Is that true or is that false?
No, I don't believe we did that. I don't believe one was a dark match, and I think it was just that one match.
What did you think of just Steve as a worker? Like, one of the best, one of your favorites? What did you think?
Well, I knew Steve back in the Dallas and Memphis days, and I always thought he had potential. And then when he found his own voice and found his true calling, he was stunning Steve when I knew him the first time. And then he found out that he wasn't so stunning. He was more of a stone cold killer, and that's when he came into his own. And I thought Steve was a hell of a worker, hell of a personality, and had that charisma. And for a guy who wore black trunks, black boots, black knee pads with knee braces and a black vest, bald head, goatee, that just goes to show you the charisma and appeal he had. I mean, he just had that natural. Once he fell into who he really was, and he wasn't stunning by any stretch of imagination. He was stone cold. And once he found that out, he embraced it and he went. So, yeah, I always thought he was a tremendous worker, tremendous wrestler, and he had finally found his niche.
Do you think you'd rather have wrestled him not as Zip and just Dr. Tom? Like, would that have been better for you?
Anything I did as Zip sucked. I hated Zip. Yes, I would have wrestled him as Dr. Tom. Would have been better.
I was just randomly yesterday with a friend of mine, Ray. We were watching the Raw match of 1995. It was Candido versus Fatu. And I was just thinking of it because obviously the Body Donnas, but before you kind of came in the fold, he took a splash from Fatu, meaning Candido, Skip, and 1, 2, 3, he kept his legs up the whole time. You know, like how your reaction would be if you got hit in the stomach, your legs would probably. He just kept his legs up the whole time, even after they raised Rikishi's head, for Rikishi Fatu, but his hand. I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, wow, I've never seen anybody do that before.
Well, Chris was a great performer too. Chris loved wrestling. He loved the business, and he would go that extra mile just to amuse himself or amuse other people. But yeah, I mean, the Body Donnas was not one of my favorite periods in my career.
Man, what a weird gimmick. It's just like you had Dr. Tom, you had Candido. You could have done something a lot better with them. I mean, they could have done a lot better with a lot of those guys. Like, what are
Yeah,
some of those gimmicks? Like Dean Douglas. Like, I kind of liked it at first, and then Vince kind of Vinceified it, and you're like, what is this gimmick? Isaac Yankem, like just terrible gimmicks.
yeah. There was a lot of terrible stuff going on at that time. It was a bad time to be there for me.
TL Hopper, the
Yeah,
Goon,
yeah.
Abe
Just
Knuckleball
not
Sports.
yeah, not a whole lot of creativity going on.
Oof, not good at all. Also wanted to mention this too, by the way. 9/24, meaning it's the day we're recording. 1998. So we're going back some time here. You lost to the Giant Silva at a WWA event in Farmington, New Hampshire. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, yeah. That was, I think, from Mike. Was it Mike Sparta?
Yeah, Mike Sparta. Yep.
Okay, yeah. And they were trying to get him some reps, and I was training him at that time, and went in and had the match with him, and we put him over as best we could.
Kind of interesting. Like he had a couple matches on that show. So he beat Andrew Martin, aka Tess, and then obviously he beats you. So it's like they were really trying, to do something with him.
Yeah, and nice guy, nice enough guy, but it just wasn't made for WWE.
And speaking of these matches, a great trainer, Mike Hollow, who you probably know pretty well from the Northeast, he was in the main event that night. He lost to Jeff Jarrett. So just an interesting.
Yeah, Mike's a hell of a worker. Sure is.
And he's a part of the WWID program, his school, his wrestling elite school.
Yes, he is.
Very interesting, though, that he's in the main event versus Jeff. Obviously takes the loss, but just interesting.
Yeah, well, those Northeast guys. I mean, they work for Mike, and they got him some reps.
So you lose to Giant Silva 98 and Stone Cold Steve Austin 96. So that's just this day in Dr. Tom history. I wanted to throw that out there. Kind of cool when you just kind of go back and you look at some of the guys you wrestled and worked, especially when you have a name pop up like Stone Cold. Very cool to find that.
Yeah. Well, Steve was a cool guy, and Giant Silva was Giant Silva.
So let's wrap this bad boy up. Let's head to a close. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 2Man Power Trip. Dr. Tom, where can everybody find and follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Dr. Tom Prichard and drtompritchard at gmail.com.
Do you have anything else going on in this crazy world?
Not right now. No, really don't.
All right. So everybody out there, thank you, Dr. Tom. Thank you, everybody out there for listening. We'll see you right back here next time for a little Take You to School with Dr. Tom. See you then, folks.